It's another beautiful day, and it's a pleasure to be back again for another exciting show. Have you ever wondered about the role and impotence of an estate surveyor and valuer in your real estate transactions? Have you ever been duped or gotten your fingers burnt with estate agents? These and many more questions will be answered today as I have an amiable gentleman who is a core professional in the art and science of estate survey and valuation to engage in the conversation with us on the expert segment. And don't forget, we have other exciting segments on the show to provide you with trends and tips to put you on the top of your game in all your real estate transactions. My name is Olamide Onifade, and I will be back shortly. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. As I said before we went on the break, we are discussing the essence of estate survey and valuation today. And to join me in this discussion is Mr. Osato Osawaye, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. He is the past chairman of the Faculty of Plant and Equipment, Nigerian Institute of Surveyors and Valuers. He has worked with various companies ranging from Knight Frank and Rutley to Odudu and Associates and Sultan Nigeria Limited. Presently, he is the founder of Osato Osawaye & Co. and also the team lead of Barra Builder Services Limited. Thank you, Mr. Osawaye, for sharing your time with us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. Who are estate surveyors and valuers? Because prior to when we were discussing earlier to the show, you were telling me estate agents is different from estate valuers and surveyors. Sorry, estate surveyors and valuers. So what's the difference?
Well, an estate surveyor and valuer is somebody that has gone through some form of formal training in a university or a polytechnic anywhere in the world, and that has gone through some form of certification by the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers that is licensed to practice in Nigeria as an estate surveyor and valuer. You need a formal training in an educational institution. You need to have been under tutelage in an estate surveying firm, and you need to have passed some professional examination by the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, and you will now be licensed by the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria, an organ of the federal government that licenses all estate surveyors and valuers to practice in the federation called Nigeria. So that is an estate surveyor and valuer. If you have gone through all this gamut, then you can
claim to be an estate
surveyor and valuer.
So why is the entry level into your profession? Permit me, I stand to be corrected. Why is it so fluid? Anybody can stand up and tell me I'm an estate agent.
Well, estate agency is not our profession.
Really?
We are estate surveyors and valuers. Estate agency is one of the things that an estate surveyor and valuer can do or does. Estate agency just means the buying and selling of anything called estate.
Okay, and so it is normal or it's legal for estate agents, you know, the school dropouts, even lawyers, a lot of people who have anything to do with local, with real estate, they tell you I'm an agent and all that. So is it absolutely legal for them to conduct that business?
If he's doing a legal business, if he's not, if he's selling anything that is legally allowed to be sold under the laws of the land, then he can be an estate agent, so long as you're not involved in anything illegality.
So where does the quackery come in?
A quack is somebody that is portraying himself as something that he or she is not. You're a quack doctor if you are not trained to be a medical practitioner. You're a quack estate surveyor and valuer if you are not certified by the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria and licensed by the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers to practice in Nigeria. So let me just summarize thus. If you come into the country with a certificate from the UK, maybe you have RICS, Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, and you come into Nigeria and you're not registered to practice under Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers or the ESVABON, you are a quack.
Oh, okay.
Is that clear enough?
Okay, very clear.
Yeah.
So why would I take the services of an estate surveyor and valuer over the services of an estate agent?
It depends on the value you have placed on your asset. It's like asking me, why should I go to the pharmacy to get dispensed for drugs when I'm having an ailment, or go to a doctor? If you value your life or you value your person, you will seek medical help from a medical practitioner. If you value your asset, if your asset is worth its salt, you will seek professional advisory from a registered estate surveyor and valuer. If you don't value your asset, you can go to anybody and you will get any kind of service.
So what is surveying? What is valuation? Where does it come in?
We are estate surveyors. A survey just means to appraise or to view something. Let's use the word view. Survey this car, view the car, value this car, put monetary value on that car. So we are estate surveyors. We can do what is called estate survey. We come to your property, we look at it, we say, look, your property is in need of renovation. The floors are giving way, the roof is due for upgrade, there are cracks on your wall. That is an estate survey. Then we now go to the next level. Your property is worth X naira. That is an estate value.
Okay.
Is that clear enough?
Very clear. So at what point should I be engaging the services of an estate surveyor in a property transaction?
It depends on what you mean by a property. Are you buying a property or selling?
Okay, let me be clearer. Okay, if, say, for instance, I want to buy, when should I engage the services of an estate surveyor?
Well, for my own practice and my own experience, if you're better off talking to an estate surveyor and valuer from when you even conceive the idea of wanting to buy a property. That valuer or surveyor will be able to advise you on the best place to put your hard-earned money. You may not be informed enough to know where you will get optimal return from your investment. These days of scarcity of funds and the opportunity cost of your 100 million, you need to know where to invest it, that you will get the highest yield, that is the word, and get the highest returns for your kobo of investment.
So
you need to talk to us early.
Okay,
yes.
The viability of this. Okay. So hold your thoughts. We're due for a short break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for staying glued to your screen and you're still watching Space and Style. And I still have Mr. Osato Osawaye in the building, and he's taking us through estate surveying, the nitty-gritty of what estate surveying means. So thank you for staying with us, and thank you again for sharing your time with us.
You're welcome.
So before we went on the break, we were talking about the nitty-gritty of what estate survey and valuation, and we also talked about the time when you're supposed to consult one. So why do I need valuation? Why do I need to value my property?
It depends on what you want to do with the property. You need to know the worth of your property for different reasons. It may be for estate planning. You want to know, oh, I have these assets. Some of them are real estate, some of them are motor vehicles. You want to know what they are worth. For estate planning is like, look, I'm getting older, I need to know what I own, you know.
Yes.
Then you also may need to know the value of your assets for collateral purposes, for growing your business. Because one of the things your asset must be able to do for you is to help you grow your business. It must be usable as a collateral. So you may want to know the worth of your asset to pledge a security for growing your business, raising business loans. You also may want to just know the worth of your investment.
You know why I was asking? Quite a number of times. Of course, you know, I'm a lawyer, so I get involved in these transactions daily. And you want to sell a property, and the client tells you, my property is worth 140 million. Mm-hmm. And I ask, how did you arrive at that conclusion? And they tell me the going rate in the area.
You see,
how does that correlate?
One of the things I like to say is that every human being has an opinion of the worth of their asset. You have an opinion of what you are worth as a person. You have an opinion of what your car is worth. What an estate surveyor and valuer helps you to do is to give an informed opinion, a professional opinion, an opinion that is backed by the laws of the land. It's like a an objective opinion of your property, rather than your own subjective opinion of, I own the property, so I always have a subjective opinion. An estate surveyor and valuer gives you that objective value.
So how do you people come to your conclusion? And okay, this is going to be a 2-in-1 question. And what can I do to help my valuation report? Because sometimes we send sometimes we send properties for valuation and they come back and probably I thought it should be worth about 50 million and it comes back from the valuation and they say it's worth 30 million. So what can I do to help? Because there are some things you do, or how do you arrive at your yardstick, if I can place it like that?
Well, that's asking me to tell you
the secret of the business.
I'll just tell you, go back to school and read estate management, then come and practice or work under my firm until you get qualified to be an estate surveyor.
Okay. So is there anything
you can do to help?
Yes, to boost your valuation.
No, I don't think there's anything you can do to boost. One of the things I would advise to do is that you properly maintain your asset, your real estate asset, or any asset at all. Your maintenance is key. And the title you have, as a lawyer, you know a property is more marketable when it has good title, transferable instrument. So if your title is good, if your property is well maintained, and it's in a good location. What we say in real estate is all about 3 things: location. The fourth most important thing, I would even say the foundational most important thing before the location is your title. If your property is not transferable, in the sense that your title cannot be passed to somebody else, then it is defective. That affects the value of your property. So to help in making your property worthwhile, you need to have a good title, you need to maintain it very well, and you need to have, if it's a rented apartment, you need to have a tenant that is not defacing or how do I put it? Like
diminishing the
worth of your asset.
So that takes us to property management.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time today to deal about that's a separate topic on its own. Okay, so because we're running out of time, of course, there are vendors in real estate transactions, and there are buyers and there are sellers. So what would be your partnership to a buyer? If you want to buy a property, what are the tips? What tips can you give? How should one go about it from your professional point of view?
Consult a lawyer and consult a valuer. The lawyer will advise you on the title of that property. The valuer will advise you on the best price to offer. A combination of these 2 advice will guarantee good investment.
Then lastly, what do you think is the future of real estate in Nigeria? Taking into cognizance what just happened, the building collapsed last year.
Well, you see,
do you think it's had an impact?
If you consider the fact that, this is still debatable, over maybe 70 to 80% of Nigerians are not homeowners. That tells you that, look, the market for home ownership is massive.
Huge.
And government cannot fix it. Government just provides the enabling environment. So the future of real estate in Nigeria, being the largest black nation on the face of the earth, is massive. We just need to define the need of the average Nigerian in terms of home ownership. There's a confusion between land owning and home owning. That's a conversation we need to hold.
Okay.
Nigerians like to own land. A land that is not, you can't live on your land. We're not animals. Even animals live in shelter. Nigerians need to change the conversation to home ownership. A shelter, a roof over your head. Your land, you can only farm on it. Some parcels of land are idle, but we need to start building apartments for Nigerians to own homes. Home ownership is the future, not land ownership.
Thank you very much for an insightful and a great discussion, and we hope you'll be here next week.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. I hope you had a nice time with this segment. Moving on, we have the design tip of the week. Enjoy it.
My name is Dr. Maureen Kebasharu, CEO and Creative Director at Dewey Options Limited, an interior design firm. So today we're going to talk about how to make a space look luxurious and without breaking a bank. All right, so I guess today we're going to talk about just tips on how to do that. So the first thing I want to talk about is the use of colors. So what are the luxurious colors? So we're going to talk about colors like white, grays, and most importantly, metallic colors. Bronze, gold, silvers, copper, and all that. So usually when you're going to combine these colors together, you're going to do it in a ratio 2:1. So you're going to use like the grays, the white, the blacks, the brown, and you're going to put in like one metallic color, like a gold, or you're going to use like a silver. So another thing you can do to get that feel is to ensure that your space is totally clutter-free. Right? So like that, we try to put in a lot of shelves that are very decorative and stylish shelves, in spaces. And we use natural materials. The use of natural materials in a space makes it look luxurious. So let's take a feature wall, for example. You can put stone on a feature wall, or you can do like wood, like a wooden panel on a wall, on a feature wall, or on any other wall for that matter. So the use of natural materials like stones, like wood, gives you that luxury feel that you want. Also, another thing you can do to get that luxurious feel in a space is the use of the right lighting. So we want to focus on ensuring you create the sense of space. So you don't want too much walls in your space. You don't want too much furniture in a space that you want to give that feel of luxury. So you want to, or you want to use a chandelier that is very dramatic. So use a beautiful, dramatic chandelier. So it can be maybe the one item that you're going to spend a little bit on, then the pieces that you're going to put around, maybe the artifacts and the accessories that you're going to put around the golds and the silvers, the butterflies, like metallic butterflies, you want to put in your recessed walls, and you want to put a light to focus on it, And also, another important thing to do in a space to make it feel like $1 million is actually the use of the right materials. So if you look at your furniture, for example, you want to use materials that are soft, to the skin. So we use suede materials, you want to use velvet materials, you want to use like 100% cotton materials in your space on furniture. And also you want to use furniture that are very easy to keep clean. You don't want furniture that will gather dust over time, because when you have furniture like that in your space over time, it makes the space look kind of tacky. So you want furniture that has surfaces that is very easy to clean in your space. So today, let me give you the tip to take away. So your space, if you want to make it feel like $1 million space, just change those throw pillows, and you can use a color. Like here we've got blues and we've got gold in it that is leather, that gives a sense of luxury. And also you can have a really beautiful artwork, that looks expensive on your wall, and you put an accent light over it. So I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things today. See you again next week. Bye.
And lastly on the show is the artisan spot. Enjoy it.
Majority of these boards are imported because they are not made in Nigeria. We don't have that kind of factory yet to make those boards. So majority of those MDF, HDF boards, they are imported. Then we can cut it, then put it into different shapes that we want. Actually, one thing is that there is a kind of perspective we have as Nigerians. that we believe the white people can actually do it better than us. But with this, you have the cutting machine, you have the taping machine. There's nothing different because actually the boards that we cut here are imported from those countries, and majority of those countries now, they are coming to Nigeria already to make furnitures for us here. So there is no big difference. Yeah, it's ideal that you learn it, because if you don't learn it and you just enter into the industry, there are so many things that you will not really understand about the industry. Now, what we do here, we cut and tape here. They can actually do it manually also. So, but if you actually go to a school like a furniture making school or something like that, yes, you have a better idea and a better perspective about the whole thing. It's better you go through a furniture making school, then if possible you learn it locally also for you to understand your customer. One thing is that the clients, majority of the clients here in Nigeria is that they want something perfect, and actually it can be perfect, but because we don't have enough equipment for all these kind of things, it can't actually be 100% perfect like the white people. It can't actually be 100% perfect. But we just try our possible best to do something very nice. Okay, because people like us now that we are a bit exposed and educated, now we coming into the picture, we've changed a lot of things. We know how we deal with artisans, because if a client go and meet an artisan directly, the way artisan is going to charge them is different, and because one thing about them is that they just want the money. Give them the money, some of them will just spend the money and not make it. But we are like the intermediary between the artisan and the client. We as a furniture company that is more exposed, what we do is that we know how we deal with them. So when we give them work, we know the best time, like the duration that they can actually do the work. So, and with the fact that we have a machine here, it's faster and it's neater. So this is it's called the panel saw machine. They use it in cutting boards, MDF, HDF, and particle board. Any kind of board, sharp. So this is the cutting machine. So you can actually run it for you to see how it's done. You can see that it's neater and it's faster. With that, you've cut it.
Space and style.
We have come to the end of the show this week. I am Olamide Anne. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, this is Space and Style.